surprised. And dead! Fantastic. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to say. I honestly did not intend to record today. I honestly was getting ready to go to sleep, but then I picked up my laptop and I looked at the last time I'd really uploaded any Solgren, and I'm like, you know what, I should record at least 1 or 2 videos to just get out there. Oh, that's the other thing I can tell you guys about. My job. I actually have a job now. Isn't that nice? I have signed up at a winery, a local winery, because I, live in California, and there's a lot of wineries around. And a local winery of mine, yeah, I like to say winery, a local winery of mine was hiring some servers, or needed some servers for the summer. Server summer? Oh! A local winery needed a couple... Hey, look, 12, 12, 12. Sweet. A local winery needed some servers. I will not die to you. I was not... You know what? I could tell that jump was off, but I was not going to die to the Nommer. Forget that. You can forget that noise right now, Shrillex. By the way, before I... Well, I just wanted to say this before I forget. Really quick, I noticed this today. If you guys have ever played Killing Floor... Look at the stalkers, the invisible chicks. Well, you can't look at them, but when they become uninvisible, or visible, as some people would say, look at the stalkers, or even go punch it into Google images. Stalkers, Killing Floor. Doesn't it look like they have Shrillex's hair? I just noticed that today. I was just looking at their hair, and I'm like, wow, that really looks like Shrillex's hair. If you don't know who Shrillex is, he's basically like one of those guys that really punches his VCR and makes weird noises. Just like me! Just like me, who wants to scream and yell and make funny sounds, but he won't, because then he'd probably end up making something that would sound like a curse come out of his mouth. And you'd all jump on that, wouldn't you? Oh, but yeah, at my local winery, they were looking for servers, and I signed up, and actually I found it through Craigslist, which, it was actually probably a good thing that I broke my thumb about a month ago, because if I had not broken my thumb, I would not have been impaired enough to not fill out application forms, and I would not have gone onto Craigslist to look up the job that I actually signed up for. So it might just be a little blessing in disguise that I broke my thumb. Oh, I just did it again. But yeah, my local winery, they're doing that, and I just this last few days, or just this, like, 2 days ago, I went in for a training session, and basically what they did is they sat us all down. There was about 12 of us, and they sat us down and said, okay, here's what's going to be happening. We are essentially a catering service that will be providing food and other such services to people in weddings and fancy dinners. And that in itself is quite filled with pressures. And you basically are going to be the person who sets out the food, dishes out the food, cleans up, serves the wine, serves the cider, serves the water, puts the plates down, and that's a pretty big part of the wedding. You know, after the wedding, you've got, they're married. This is essentially their first meal together as a couple. And especially at a winery, you know it's going to be the hoi polloi, the fancy pantses. So they're expecting quite a heavy sense of pride in their servers. Somebody who's qualified. And basically what the guy said is, okay guys, listen up. You're pretty much going to be somewhat abused at this place because, what if Uncle So-and-so gets, has a few too many. He even said when he was showing us around, he showed us the bridal room, and he says, this is where the bride comes to hang out for a bit, and essentially all she's doing in here is drinking with her friends. He said that the whole wedding ceremony, at least at the local winery, has become a little bit more of an alcohol fest than It used to be, so that's a little disappointing. But I'm just afraid of messing somebody's big day up, you know what I mean? It's one thing to screw up like an auction dinner, but it's another thing entirely to do that. Look at the deaths, that's awesome. It's another thing entirely, like they said, be aware. Are there any photographers trying to get a picture of somebody while you're walking in the way? If somebody's giving a toast, you have to step aside and just wait for whatever they're doing to be done. And it's so high pressure, I am really nervous about it, but I need the money, and it would be an amazing reference to have on my resume. You know, the local winery. It doesn't get any better than that. Solgren, stop freaking me out, buddy. But hey, aren't I getting better? I think I'm getting very better. It seems like every other time now I'm getting... Ah! Typical. That's what's going to happen. He's going to be at the end of his final phase, and something like that is going to happen, and it's going to rip my heart out. But I also got the impression that it's supposed to kind of make... They're not putting it all on you. They actually did say, they gave a couple examples of times when people have screwed up, when somebody has dropped a whole tray of glasses. They said, don't be a hero. If you have a whole bunch of plates on your tray, and you trip or slip on an olive or something or whatever, don't be a hero and try to catch them all. Because you're going to end up hurting yourself, and they're just inexpensive plates. You don't need to worry about it. They're more worried about you hurting yourself. So, in that manner, it is quite nice. And they even gave me... They said basically what's going to be happening is we're going to give you 3 chances to kind of go through hardcore little training. Which, first day, they're going to have you come in for a wedding or whatever, and you're essentially just going to be somebody's shadow. You're going to be following them, seeing what they do, you know, standard procedure. Second day, you're going to be more hands-on, they're going to be asking you to do more tasks and the like, helping them out. Third day, the trainer is going to be your shadow. And at that point, they'll really determine whether or not you're good for this job. I mean, they said even if you have problems the first 2 days or something, if you show improvement, and if they think you're ready, then you can continue on. Or if you want a chance to duck out, if it's too crazy for you, you can duck out. So, in that respect, it is quite nice compared to Toys R Us, who essentially just threw me up on the register with no experience whatsoever, no training, no nothing, and that was complete and utter horse manure, because they got mad at me for not knowing my stuff, even though they were the ones who were supposed to train me. So I give a big thumbs up to you, Toys R Us. The reason why I'm giving you a big thumbs up is because I can't give you a different finger. At least that Toys R Us. Maybe not all Toys R Us. Most Toys R Us's, whatever, are very nice, I'm sure. But that one was a dump. And I will forever dump on that one. I will forever be bitter about that, because they turned me away for wearing jeans. I mean, even this place, even the local winery, sent me an email telling us, oh, by the way, remember, you need to be wearing formal attire. And that's good. They gave me a heads up. You see, that's what you do to employees, even if they're only temporary employees, even if they're only for the summer. You want to have your employees informed, so they can't say, Solgren! So they can't say that it's your fault. Or that it's their fault. You know what I mean? It's like, well, why didn't you show up in this attire? Because you didn't tell me. They need to be able to say, yes, we did. Never assume. Ever assume. Always make everything clear and cut and just If they really don't get it, they must be willingly trying not to get it. You know what I mean? So, that's just my standards. I don't know how the rest of you operate. I don't know. But it's brought me through the ringer. I'll tell you that much. It's really just wrung me emotionally dry. And then I have this to come home to. You know what? That's one of the things. That's one of the things. No matter if it's good or bad, if I drop a tray or if I accidentally spill the whole thing of gravy on a guy's suit, the thing is, at the very end of the day, I can always, as long as nobody takes out a dinner fork and stabs me, I can always come home and be the invisible gunslinger, number one. They don't know. They don't know the man that is serving them filet mignon is actually the gunslinger. The man who can do this. The man whose hands have been graced by this. Most of those hoity-toity people would fall in awe. In awe! They would fall to their knees in religious awe. Well, maybe not of me, but of this. In this, the face of Salgrina. Oh well. I've learned something today, everybody. I've learned a very interesting little facet of the Salgren's life. I've learned that green things home in on you. They want to be with you. They want to be one with your face. That was so cheeky. Don't you spawn on top of me. You wanted to. Oh, God! God, every time. Sonico, you have not killed me in ages. I need to recover from that. That was just... You see, I only meant to be doing 1 or 2 videos, but now I'm pumped up. Speaking of pumped up, I was wondering what the song during the Ryu fight was. So thankfully, I went into the text document that Salgren includes in his zip file of the game, and I just scrolled down to that, found it, and played it. And don't worry, I did not look up any other music that I may or may not be aware of. He has formatted it so that you can't scroll down too far if you don't know what's ahead. Like, say I didn't know what the 4th world boss was, but I wanted to know what the Ryu music was. He doesn't put them out of order. So I looked that up, and I found it, and I favorited it on YouTube, and it is a very nice theme. The Ryu theme has quite the nice little beat to it. Don't you... I came really close to swearing that. I am so pissed off at you. But you are not worth my self-control